Alright guys, today we'll be doing an interview with an amazing people who just are like us, are into the law of attraction. My main mission is to be able to impact special education and law of attraction. How are you guys doing today? Thank you.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the invite. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry about the other time because I thought it was 2 p.m., but that's okay.
Not a problem.
So, can you guys introduce to yourself who you are to the audience? Whoever go first, though. That's up to you guys.
Ladies first.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juliana Arango, and this is my husband, Andres Arango, and we are the co-founders of Mind Success, and we are certified consultants by Bob Proctor. So, you know, when we were invited to this interview, we were very happy to talk to all of you about the law of attraction. And many of you might know, our mentor appears in the movie or the documentary, The Secret. So we are very into the law of attraction and all the laws of the universe. So we are very happy to be here and sharing with all of you.
Awesome. My name is Andres Arango, co-founder of Mind Success, entrepreneur, have a finance background, used to be an investment portfolio analyst, and one of the 400, 500 million people that were impacted with the movie The Secret. Then move on to the Think and Grow Rich book. Absolutely captivated with the title, with Napoleon Hill material. And then on my research, we found our current business mentor and partner, Bob Proctor, and then our life took off to a whole new level.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you. The only reason why I do let the people do introduction, it's a way to be able to, because sometimes people forget when you meet a new stranger or you go up and ask a question about them. Because the reason why I don't do bios and like that is because I like to be able to experience the new way that you experience when you meet people, right? Actual new people, right? So it's interesting that we both, or I think also the audience, have seen The Secret too. Have you guys have like a spiritual awakening when you saw The Secret, or how did you experience the law of attraction? But before that, I would like to ask, what do you love about Proctor?
Me personally, I love the way he teaches this material. Like, I think it's in a very easy way to understand. Out of the people, like, everyone does an awesome job out there, but I connected so well with him. Like, it was so easy to understand and get into the material, like the way he explained it, that, you know, we felt in love with the way he explains the philosophy. And that's why we decided to become a part of his team. And, you know, he's our mentor and business partner. So it's awesome.
What I love about Bob, in my personal opinion, is the lineage. You know, this comes from Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the world, back in 1908. The mentor Napoleon Hill, that pretty much dedicate his life to study 500 of the most successful people in the world, including presidents, Rockefeller, Henry Ford, you name it. Very successful people. And his philosophy was, how come we're very successful and not take this to humanity, to really teach people the principles of success? And Napoleon Hill dedicated his life writing the book Think and Grow Rich. Then he mentored Earl Nightingale, that our mentor Bob Proctor, for 5 years. And one of the things that I love the most about Bob is his discipline. He reads the Think and Grow Rich book every day. He's been reading that book since 1961. So when it comes to a lineage, to a source of really go deep in the understanding how the law of attraction works, but more than that, because law of attraction is a secondary law, right? And I'm pretty sure we're gonna go deeper into the subject. But the way he put this amazing philosophy that pretty much a 10-year-old kid can understand it. And we're talking about a very confused subject when it comes to the mind for most people out there. So when you have, Bob, it's you get results automatically in your life, in your business, in relationships. We experience, a huge change in our lives, and that's what I love the most about, getting results. That's pretty much the name of the game.
Yes, thank you so much for the how you talk about what was it, Andrew Carnegie, but also I fall in love with Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale has the greatest audio, I believe, known to mankind, that he gave the gift to the world. You already know what I'm talking about, the strangest secret in the world. Yeah, I love it. It helped you in a way that you never would understand. But I love Bob Proctor the way that I use the goal card, right? It works. It's just that it trains the mind to think of that one goal, and you attract. Oh, you guys have it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be fun. So let's talk about the law of attraction, since you were here to talk about that too. So over the years, I have found that there are people who are wildly successful using the law of attraction, and there's others who aren't successful, right? They know it, they study it, but over time they can't get to it. Now, for you, how do you experience your own law of attraction? Because you mentioned also that there's also multiple universal laws. Because I remember in You Were Born Rich, because I love that video they have. Can you explain that?
Yeah,
absolutely. We have to understand first. The movie The Secret, I believe it became, it created a lot of awareness for humanity all over the world. But what the law of attraction, The Secret, pretty much doesn't go deeper, is that the law of attraction is a secondary law. The primary law behind the law of attraction is the law of vibration. So it's not just, you have positive thoughts and then you're going to materialize those thoughts. It's way more than that. It's not just the thinking, it's just how you feel and which vibration you are, that you ultimately start attracting whatever it is you want in your life. So first, that blew my mind when Bob teach this to us, because most people say, yeah, law of attraction, yes, people believe that it's a new thing. No, it's been there forever. We just became aware of the law of attraction, but that's a secondary law. When you understand the law of vibration, understanding that everything vibrates, right? Where energy comes through us. So when you have, when you start using your mind, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind in the proper way, you're going to start materializing results, whatever you want. It all starts with a thinking, right? But it's more how you vibrate that ultimately you start attracting. You activate through the law of vibration, which is a primary law, the law of attraction.
Yes. I think one of the things that we also leave out from The Secret, I think it's good to introduce the new concept. I know it's not a new concept that has been around for a long time, but it's still a new concept to the mass media or the masses. Though you have to dumb it down a little bit when we talk to those type of people, because they don't know. Like, I feel like in general, people have a sense of this inherent ability within them, like intuition. Because I know Bob Proctor is always good with the intuition thing, where he can just read your energy just like that. I always see it like that. Has he read your energy?
Absolutely. You go to a live event and you'll be able. You mentioned intuition, which is one of our mental faculties, right? And this is not a new thing. It's just that it's just that humanity is becoming more consciously aware of what we already have, right? So when you start tapping into this material, the methodology, and the way that Bob teaches, you start getting yourself in harmony with the law. Like the laws, the universal laws are always working, but it doesn't mean that they're working to our benefit. Since we're ignorant in some of, most of the laws, which is simply not knowing, right? We violate those universal laws. So when you start studying and you start getting understanding, Earl Nightingale put it absolutely amazing in The Strangest Secret. He said, all we got to do is get understanding, but not also intellectually, also emotionally, right? So when you understand this concept, you start getting yourself in harmony with it. So when Bob, is live at the events, he has, his intuitive mental faculty so well developed that he can read your energy pretty much. He tells you exactly, the way you think, how you behave, and it's absolutely powerful. See it live. It's amazing. It's a great experience.
For when you were mentored by Bob, for each of you, how do you like saw him? Like, what do you learn from him?
Well, we continuously get mentored by him. Being consultants, we have the privilege to be mentored. Like, we are always mentored by him every day because we study the material that we teach every day, which is a program called Thinking into Results that he created. So every day he's in our house virtually, and every 3 months we have the privilege to be with him in training for life in Toronto. And it has changed our lives so much since we started seeing The Secret, basically because we are married. Unconsciously, we attracted each other after watching the movie The Secret. For many of you, I'm pretty sure you have seen the documentary, and there is a part where it says to attract your soul or your significant other, and then to do a letter and describe like everything that you want on that person. And we didn't know each other. We did that, and then that's how we are now happily married. We've been together for 10 years, and it's thanks to that documentary. So being mentored by Bob, going back, sorry that I deviated a little bit, but going back to the question, is knowing that he has been studying this material for over 57 years and having him guiding us, because we all have paradigms, which are multitude of habits or behaviors that are registered in our subconscious mind. And at the beginning, you were saying that many people, they read the book or they saw the documentary and then they say to themselves, oh, this doesn't work. But it's not that the movie doesn't work or the book doesn't work. It's you. It's your paradigm. So that's the power that we have in our hands and the privilege that we have of learning with him every day, because it's not other people, it's not the book, it's you. It's what's going on inside you. And until you go to the primary cause of that behavior, then you're going to continue obtaining the same results.
That is powerful. Thank you so much.
And having a mentor, I mean, like Bob, is you pretty much are saving 10 years of your life, because he's showing you the roadmap, pretty much exactly what to do and how to do it. So that's how we get mentored, right? I mean, if you really want something but you don't want to do it and you tell Bob, I mean, you're going to end up doing it, because he believes so much in human potential in ourselves, right? I mean, we're God's highest form of creation, right? We're so powerful, and sometimes we put ourselves in the middle, and that's why sometimes we're not getting the results we're looking. And then we blame somebody else or the circumstances or the economy, the government, or no, it's you. So when you understand that you are the only problem and you are the only solution, you take responsibility. And then having someone, with, imagine, close to 58 years of experience just in one topic, one subject, human potential and growth. Why successful people, why so small percentage of the population worldwide, 8 billion people all over the world, right, are getting success, and the majority are pretty much, let's say, struggling in the good sense, right? I mean, probably not getting the results they want. They want to move forward, but they're getting stuck, and it's because when it comes to paradigms, I mean, no one can touch Bob pretty much, because he goes straight to the primary cause of the result, and he shows you how to change it to get permanent results. And that for me, it's been, I mean, a blessing, a blessing.
Mm. Yeah, I've been trying to get an interview him, but I have to persist that in the future because I wanted to interview him uh, because I just love him. That guy is amazing. Um, for you guys, because I also want to touch. I mean, because I want to basically this interview is also about life in general. But what do you think about the current education? Where are you guys in America or where are you?
Yeah, we're here in Florida.
Florida. What do you think about the current educational system? Because it doesn't teach us the skill that we need. Like, for example, for a kid who doesn't have if they're looking for a job, they don't have the skill to sell themselves or market themselves. Or I believe that the education system has failed us because I was a special education and they put me in, and I thought that I have this disability and that all these kids are smarter than me, or I thought I was stupid. But it turned out from the material that Bob teaches, or not us, but you guys. But when he had the video of you were born rich, you talk about the brain cells, right? That your brain can develop new brain cells. So the current system doesn't teach you about the brain, doesn't teach you about social skills, doesn't teach you about money or taxes. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I can answer the question with my personal experience. I went to school. I went to the School of Business and graduated in finance. And I did it because that's what, pretty much everybody does it, right? And they teach you at home, go to school, get good grades, and then get a job. So I went to the School of Business, graduated in finance. They taught me so much valuable information. They taught me how to invest the money, how to manage the money, probably not how to earn the money. So I did exactly what 96, 97% of the population do. Go out there and get a job, right? I'm not talking about that a job is bad, but in my case, I always wanted it to become an entrepreneur. So I found myself having a dream job for finance graduate, happy, benefits, you name it, right? But it got to a point that I felt myself limited because I always wanted it to become an entrepreneur and have time and money freedom. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So a job for me wasn't the, I haven't seen myself 20, 30 years from that point having a job, but I pretty much didn't know how to because they don't teach this in school. Like what we have learned from Bob and if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill put it this way. I mean, you know, they don't they don't teach this in school, right? And because if they would, I mean, pretty much schools would be half empty, right? Because this is so powerful, and all you're doing is studying yourself to become a better version of yourself, to create a powerful mindset, to create whatever you want. And school is almost sacred, right? You go to school, you learn a trade, right? But if you really want to um, like become an entrepreneur like me, well, that's probably a beginning point. But I will definitely go more deeper to learn about the mind, about the power of the mind, about how to utilize this material to get the results I'm looking for. And that's why we see people that are super brilliant, they have degrees coming out of their business cards, but they're not happy with the results. And on the other hand, you see college dropouts, I mean, now high school dropouts, and they're having such an amazing success, right? And it's because, it's all about you. The power is in you. And when you have this material and you apply it properly, you're gonna be successful.
Yes. Do you guys read?
Yeah.
A lot.
What type of books do you guys read? Or depends on you, because I know Bob Proctor is big on reading.
Yeah, we read. He recommends a lot of books, so we always read what he recommends. We've read books like "You Were Born Rich," "Think and Grow Rich," "The Science of Getting Rich," "Psycho-Cybernetics," "Your Invisible Power." We can go on for them, but it's all the books that we read is to grow, to continue educating ourselves, and we don't watch any TV, and we are always reading, we're always studying and growing.
And applying the information. It's not just reading, because I talk to people, we talk with a lot of people. Yeah, I read 20 books a month. That's great. But how much information are you applying at a daily basis? That is what is going to make the difference, right? It's going to help you get the results you're looking for.
It's the same thing as seminars. People become seminar junkie and they don't apply in their life. It's making sad. It's like, what's the point? That's why it's the thing. You can't. That's why I often notice that you can't buy skills. Skills is developed. Because if you spend, because basically for me, I developed the skills of interviewing people, because people think that there's one way to interview people is when you get hired for a job. But there's so many type of interview. What I'm doing right here is helping you guys out and helping me out. The same thing is promotion, marketing, and everything else, right? But people don't understand that. So they think they have this one concept, but it's different. And a skill set also, most law of attraction books don't talk about. It's about selling and marketing skills. I read sales book from Grant Cardone or some entrepreneur that I looked up. You probably guys listen to Gary Vee. I don't know. You heard of Gary Vee? You guys, yes. He's big on that, and so I learned from how to get. I tried to negotiate, because what I learned through negotiating with authors because I interviewed Bob Doy from hit movie The Secret, and it took a while to get him on here to interview him. It took 4 months. So I have to, I'll try to figure out how to get him. I use Twitter, email. It really was hard. So I think that's what's missing now too. So,
but you have an amazing skill. You have persistence, right? That most people send 1 email, 2 emails, and then, oh, this guy didn't answer, whatever, and they abandon the project. You keep persistent. So that's a perfect example how you have applied one of the principles in the book Think and Grow Rich, persistence, because that's what you want. You want to interview this person, right? And you did whatever it takes to make it happen. That's exactly what we also teach our clients. Like once you have a crystal clear goal and you put it in writing and you have it in your goal card, Bob teaches, in one of the lessons, which is one of the principles on goal setting, is we have to ask ourselves, are we able? Well, I mean, if we go to the only 2 sources of reference that we can go to, science and theology, it says absolutely, we are all able to do whatever we want, but we have to decide first what we want, right? And then the second question is, are we willing? Are we willing to pay the price? Are we willing to do whatever it takes, whatever is required to achieve this goal? And that's what most people get stuck. Because you said, yes, everybody wants success, everybody wants more money, right? But are you willing to pay the price? Maybe yes, maybe no.
What you say is true. What you say is true. Are we willing? But sometimes people aren't willing to pay the price because it's a long-term process that they have to go through, right? Because we live in this world, it's like fast-paced, fast everything. I mean, heck, this thing that I have here is a game card, right? It's fast paced. But also, you're right. I did persist and that's good that you guys teach, because it's also in Think and Grow Rich too, persistent.
Yeah.
I read it over. But also, I would like to ask, it says both of you, since you guys have goal card, right? Do you, because I follow Bob's philosophy of setting a high goal, even though people set high goals, some people set realistic, I set unrealistic. For me, my goal is to be able to interview whoever I want, from celebrities to best-selling authors, whatever. But for you, do you guys set high goals? How do you set your goals?
Yeah, we do we work with C-type goals, and C-type goals, like what you just said, that many people think that your goals are unrealistic. It might be for them because they don't know this philosophy and they don't know about fantasizing, and that's what we do, and that's what we call type C goals. So these are goals that we don't know how we are going to get them, but we know we will get them. So what happened is that ever since we were a child, you know, how children fantasize, how they're always dreaming and how they're always playing with whatever they have. That's what we have to come back and do. And those are the type C goals that we work with, that for other people might be illogical, but for us are, no matter what happened, I know I'm going to get this, and I'm going to fantasize, and I'm going to dream, and this is what I want, and I'll go ahead and do it. So we set up goals that maybe others don't understand, but we know that we will get there.
And if you have a plan for a goal, I mean, it's not a good goal, pretty much. I mean, it's, you know, we set up goals that scare us and excite us at the same time, because the real purpose of a goal is to help us grow. It's not the result, right? It's the person you become. It's not the people that you're going to interview, right? That is the result, but is the person you're going to become to be able to interview this, you know, celebrities and successful people all over the world. So the real purpose of a goal is to help you grow. You're going to get something inside of you that you probably didn't even know was there, and you're going to start doing things that, you know, it will blow your mind. That, oh my God, how come you know, I did this interview with this, you know, famous person, you know, I paid the price to do this, right, to achieve my goal. And that's the real purpose of a goal, like to help you grow. Otherwise, you go horizontal, or you might probably have, you know, some inspiration, but on the first, second obstacle, you will abandon the project. And that's exactly the type of goals that we work with our clients, like something that will help them make a quantum leap. And we're talking about in productivity, we're talking about in sales, we're talking about in health, relationships, you name it, because it works the same way by law.
Yeah. What if we get confused about all these type of goals that you know, they tell, or not, they show us you should set all these type of goals? How would you be able to, I guess, focus on what area you want to set your goals on, either for business or health or relationship? What do you suggest, or what people should do if they get confused?
Right. Well, what Bob recommends is that you should have one, no more than two goals at a time, because otherwise you get overwhelmed. You get distracted, you lose focus, you're all over the place. So you should have a personal and professional goal, and really create a shopping list of what you want at a personal and professional level. And you let your imagination wander. The imagination is the most powerful, inconceivable force that the world has ever known. Napoleon Hill put it very well in the book Think and Grow Rich, right? But we don't use it. And when we use it against us. So we think of the things that we can't, or the things that we don't want, or letting the outside circumstances control ourselves. And when we allow that, we start losing control. But you can also use this mental faculty to create what you want. As Juliana said, you need to fantasize. You let your imagination wander. right? And start writing your wants, and you connect to the essence of who you are. Because most people, yeah, say they want to be successful, but I mean, success for you is probably different from me, right? So what is the real meaning of success? What is it that you really want? What do you want at a personal and professional level? So you create a shopping list, right, of all your wants, and then you select one that connects you with all your heart, with all your soul. Like, you just think about that and gives you goosebumps. That's a great sign of a type C goal. And you don't need to know how. The second you put energy into the how, you immediately kill the fantasy and limit yourself of opportunities. And that's what most people do. Most people get stuck in the how. Oh, yes, I want this, but oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I want to interview this, but I don't have the, this gentleman, successful people. I don't have the connections. Immediately, you cut the fantasy. So we help you and people, right? Everybody that needs our help to connect to the essence of who they are and really help them bring that to the surface. And then once you have a crystal clear personal goal and professional goal, you put it together. And then through a repetition, through process, you gravitate towards your type C goal.
Holy crap. You guys are good at understanding people. Because basically, because I was looking at my niece yesterday, and I often talk about, because they come from Bob Proctor too, because he talk about focus on focus on the person, and you're doing just that on me. But thank you. And I thought, why is that people like to talk about themselves? Because that's how we all interact like that, right? And I was talking to my niece yesterday, and she liked to talk about herself, but I think that was an innate born thing. I think it's still as you grow, what was it? You become a baby. It's about me, but it's still like this. People still like to talk about themselves. But thank you. That's pretty cool. I like that you guys are also helping me out. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Do you guys have any fears, and how do you overcome it?
We have any fears?
Yeah.
Well, we learned to control those fears, and obviously, we're human beings and we are learning every day, and we do have across fears sometimes, but now we don't see it as fears. We see it as allies. Because those fears are the ones that are going to help us get out of our comfort zone and really go for what we want. So that's also what we learned with Bob, not to be in fear, but to see the fear. The fear is always going to be there, because we grew up in a world that, since we're little, our parents unconsciously, they think, don't do that. Don't go there because this is going to happen, so we grew up like that. So those are also paradigms that we grew up with. So now we learn to be our friends, not to let them stop us from what we really want.
And that's a principle as well. It's how to overcome fear and procrastination. So according to Bob, I mean, he says, fear is never gonna go away. But when you understand the process, when you understand that particular principle, your courage goes up, your fear goes down, and you're able to execute. Because we said at the beginning, if we set goals that doesn't scare us and excite us at the same time, it might probably not going to be a C-type goal as Bob describes the ABC of goals, right? And it's not because we're gonna feel we have to feel the fear or afraid of something. No, it's how to use that to propel you to make a quantum leap. So when you use the fear in your benefit to help you move to whatever you want, or to do whatever it needs to be done or required to achieve your goal, you do it. But most people, once they start feeling afraid of something or the project, they abandon it. They get froze pretty much in the process, and that's what you have to overcome. if you really want to be successful, because the freedom, it's on the other side of fear, pretty much. Your freedom, whatever you are seeking, probably success, more money, more recognition all over the world, whatever it is, it's on the other side of fear. And yes, we have to do things that make us feel uncomfortable. But that's where the real growth is. That's where the real personal development, in my opinion, is. Like, the real transformation becomes when you are able to manage fear into your benefit, or to your benefit, to achieve what you want.
The terror barrier.
The terror barrier, yes, that's how Bob calls it. The terror barrier, and how to cross the terror barrier and move forward.
Yeah, I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with his work.
Yeah, I can tell.
I have lots of his stuff too. I have one of his. He was doing. I watched a lot of his interviews and stuff like that. You're right. What the successes depend on the person. Sometimes, often, people project their success onto others. Sometimes, I feel like some people wanted to. What was it? Inject how they view success for me. But sometimes I was like, no, that's you, and I want to do it on my own terms, right? That's how when I want to do it, right? And I was like, yeah, but that's you though, like, but that's me. So, what does success look like to you guys?
Wow, that's a great question, man. Success to me is to really help people that really need our help to connect, to really achieve what they want, and have time and money freedom to do whatever we want, pretty much, and being able to help millions of people all over the world with what we do.
As well, for me, success is to see all the people that we have helped and the people that we will help be able to accomplish what they want and see their transformation, like the clients that we already had, like see them grow. It's like so successful for me and fulfilling in my heart.
Feels amazing. Feels amazing when you see people sometimes financially struggling, and then they're having such an amazing success. We work with a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, right? That in different stages, right? Some of them are already successful. Some of them are probably just starting out, right? But they all have, one dream, and they really want to monetize what they're doing and really help people. I mean, I think that's something that we all come to this world to do, right? To help others through our services, through our products, and see them winning and see them achieve their results. Oh man, that really makes me happy. I mean, that's for me. It's a highest reward and fulfilling feeling that we have the honor to feel, once, we do our job, which is helping people improve their results in multiple areas. So I think we have, man, in my opinion, the best job in the world, because we're really impacting people's lives, right?
Where does this feeling come from to desire to help people? Because every time I interview people, through the struggle, the pain that they went through, they don't want people to go through that again. What is it that makes you guys do it for people?
For me, it's, I don't know, since I was a child, because I have a bachelor's in psychology and I have a master's in mental health counseling. So for me, I always wanted it to help others, to be able to show others that life is not as they think and that as they feel that projection inside themselves, but life is more than that. And that we all came to this world, as Andres said before, we are co-creators of God, or which whoever you connect with. And we came here to live a happy, successful, and abundant life. So we all can do that, and we all have the power within ourselves. So be able to show you and help you that you are capable too, that you are not different than anyone else, has always, since I was a child, was something that I wanted it to do. And then we came across Bob, and now I'm doing this full time. And it's so fulfilling because I'm still helping others and showing them that with our mind and working in our inner self, we can accomplish anything we want.
For me, man, I felt stuck back then, say probably since, you know, I had a job, and then I always wanted to become an entrepreneur like my mom and dad, and see other people, other friends having, you know, their startup businesses, and always with that feeling inside of me, with that burning desire. Man, I don't know if I wanted it to, like, you know, invest 20, 30 years of my life in this job, or having a job, like, you know, felt very, very limited, like in prison, pretty much, right? I mean, not talking about that the job is bad, but when you understand, you know, how money works, and the potential that we'll have. I mean, I went to school and learned about investments, and then I know about stocks, mutual funds, real estate investing, all that, right? And then when it comes to the mind, and I remember Bob saying, I mean, your mind is your biggest asset. Wow, that's true. I mean, how come, you know, he talks about, you know, the mind, and when it comes to the mind, we have no clue, right? I mean, most of the people, right? I mean, just a very low percentage of people that really expand in this topic. And then, so how I'm going to get results, how I'm going to become an entrepreneur? Well, I have to go to the primary cause of the result, which is the mind, right? Everything starts and ends in the mind. And I remember Bob quoting, you know, doing mentioning one of the quotes that most people tiptoe to life until death. Say, wow. I say, you know what? It's time for me to jump. And I know so many people that are stuck doing jobs that they don't have fun, that they don't want. Matter of fact, they hate. The majority of the people. Like, you see people, man, they're not happy. They're in being able to help them, because I was there. Man, it got to a point that, man, got late every day at work, no enthusiasm, right? And then it passed a month, 2 months, a year. Then I found myself like, man, like 10 years doing the same thing, and I wasn't happy. So that for me inspires me to help other people to really pretty much help them shortcut the process, and help them understand that if you wanted it with all your heart, with all your passion, and you feel it, you can do it, but you got to jump. And that's exactly what I did. I quit my job 2 months after I partnered up. We partnered up with Bob Proctor. That's how powerful this guy is, because he shows you a way to do it, right? And then we made the decision to create our own consulting business, and then the rest is history, right? We became Bob Proctor certified consultants at the end of 2015. Then in February, I quit my job as an investment portfolio analyst. And man, and we have developed our wins along the way. Applying the same methodology, right? The same program. So for people out there, is make sure to get a core system. Because if you really want to jump and like really pursue your dreams as an entrepreneur, or if you are a business owner, you want to improve your results, man, it really helps you to have mentors. And that's one of the biggest secrets that we have found. Like, the most successful people in the world, they all have mentors. Steve Jobs, I mean, you know, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, they all have mentors. And it's beautiful. It's amazing.
I can't believe you guys know all the successful people names. Yeah, what you say is very powerful. It's not only I found out that they dread going to work, it's also that they stop growing. Once they stop growing, they start to die, right? It's not fun, but it's what you said very interesting of that people want to have fun too. It's not just as a kid, but as an adult too. Because oftentimes when people say we gotta grow up, that means you're letting go part of yourself that inside you. Growing up means yes, responsibilities, but we let go of who we was. You know, there are some things that as a child you grew up to love, but you let that go, but you still want to go back a little bit for like nostalgic, right? Some people do, some people don't. But also, can you guys? Because I know that she talked about psychology. What made you go into psychology? Because I love psychology because I study a little bit about the mind. Can you talk? Because we are. Let's talk about psychology and subconscious mind because I know you're talking about that too. Because Bob is big on that. Can you talk?
Yeah, I decided to go into psychology because I wanted it, as I mentioned, I wanted it to help others and, show them that even though you go through circumstances in life that can make you depressed, like name it, the different disorders, you could still not live with a diagnosis just because many people just say, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, and they live in that world and they continuously say that. So to be able to show them that they can get out of there and that there's more potential out of that bubble that they lived in because their diagnosis or because their parents, like whatever. So that's why I decided to go for psychology and do my master's in mental health to help people, show them that everything is possible. And something very interesting that happened to me when we became across Bob is that I learned so much in school, and I went to school for almost 7 years with my bachelor's and my master's. But how Bob explains the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and how the results, like everything, how everything is aligned, I never learned in school. I never learned in school that of my 7 years. And Bob has teach this to psychiatrists, to psychologists, to neurologists, to doctors, and they all are amazed of how he explains this. Myself, I'm amazed because from several years of school, I can say that I learned more of the mind with Bob than what I learned in school.
For you, you always mention about school. The fact that I got kicked out of high school and I went to boarding school, that was the best day of my life. But I feel like when people talk about school, it's like after you leave school, most people stop learning. That's the problem that people go through. And I used to be like that, right? I used to, when I was a teenager, I hated school, I hated homework because it made absolutely no sense to go do this crap that you don't want to do. I'd rather go home and play video games, right? But I remember, what was it? The school, right? So I remember there's this thought, right? That, or many people have this thought when as they grow older. When you finish school, I told myself that I would never have to learn again. I think that's what most people think about school, right? So they don't have to learn again. Earl Nightingale said in his either some other program, he said, the moment that you graduate is the commencement, it's the beginning. And most people don't know that. And they stop learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is what you guys say that you learn more than from him than from school. That's what amazing, right? That's what I learned. Like I'm a college dropout and I learned more from personal development than in school ever taught me. I never learned marketing, social skills, or anything like that from school, ever. I mean, they teach you the general subject that people don't even use or remember. That's the thing that kind of I have a gripe with. So,
and it's because, as Andres said before, we are conditioned, and society is conditioned to, go to school, get good grades, and then go out and find a job. So that's how society is conditioned. And that's how we did it, you know, like our parents send us to school, we finish high school, then you have to go to college, get good grades, and then continue into that path. So that's how we are conditioned, and that's what we did. But how Andres said it, you know, we were not having fun. Like, we are just conditioned to go get good grades. That's it. But what we learned, like, I can't remember what I learned in my first year of college, for example. Like, I don't even remember. So that's what, you know, when you do something that you love and you continue studying and applying, which is the most important thing, to take action towards your goal, that's when you have the fun, and that's when you do whatever it takes for you to accomplish your goal.
Okay,
Not because you have to do it.
I noticed something. Sorry, thank you so much for. I didn't mean to interrupt. That's my bad. I noticed something between this, right? You guys are good at listening to each other, like, distinctly. Like, I can tell. How you get good at each other, like, listening to like that? Because I have to, like, focus on here and focus on. It's really hard, like, because I usually interview only one person, but you're my second couple that I interviewed. It's really hard to focus. Sorry about that. How do you guys get good at that?
Awareness. It's all awareness, and you know, study and apply the information. And Bob says, you know, all you gotta do is listen with your emotions, right? And talking about a job is that you gotta, you know, you don't go to job, you don't have a job to turn money like most people believe, right? Like, they have a job just to earn money and pay for food, clothes, and shelter, right? You got a job for satisfaction, and it's our responsibility to really find something that we absolutely love doing, because at the end of the day, we all are trading our life for what we do. We have to make sure that what we do makes sense to us, not anybody else, not my wife, not my mother or sister or friends, whatever. No, me.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to. I remember. Does it make us selfish if we're doing it only for us? For, like, you feel like at time like that? Because now, when I was trying to focus on me, I feel like I'm selfish. Like, you ever get that feeling? Like, you guys ever get that feeling?
I mean, not necessarily, because, you know, the more you study you, the more you can help people.
The whole. Sorry, go ahead. The whole interview, you guys talk about money. What can you tell us about money that we can reprogram our mind about money, that we have our misconception about money?
Absolutely. I mean, I believe money is hugely important in the area that is used. And money is good for two things. Number one, to make you comfortable. And number two, to take whatever you're doing far beyond your own presence. So money is not everything, but we have to also understand that money will make the things that we value the most more, you know, more fun, more meaningful. Because, you know, if you want to help people, I mean, if you have money, you can help more, right? You can donate more, you can do whatever you want. And all you have to focus is on rendering more service and greater service through your products, through your service, if you are an entrepreneur.
And also, something is, many people focus on, oh, I want to get out of debt. You know, I don't want to be feeling this way. I'm having to pay my bills and I don't have money. Like, they're always focusing on the negative side and unconsciously thinking, I want to get out of debt. That's not a goal. You're calling more debt. So you have to change your thinking and the way you feel about money, because, as Andres was saying, money is energy. So money feels also.
Yep. Yep. But you got to develop a money consciousness first. And that's what the most richest people in the world has done. They created a money consciousness, right? And then through a process, they start attracting money. So there's only two ways pretty much to earn money, either rendering a service or providing a product, right? Or the combination of the two, but you got to choose, right? I mean, if you want to become an entrepreneur, right, through a job, I mean, I probably, you know, if you want to become very rich through a job, I will probably suggest you to look at the 3 money earning strategies from Bob. They're powerful. When he teaches you these strategies to earn money, and one of them, he says, I mean, and he's straight to the point. That's what I love him. He says, I mean, a job is the worst strategy that you can apply to earn money, because there's a big problem. You're trading your time for money, and your time gets saturated because there's a certain amount of time that we have on a daily basis, right? So if you really want to become, you know, rich in all areas of our lives, it's not just money. It's a balance of having, you know, be happy, obviously have a mind, you know, a state of mind that you're, you know, calm, relaxed, that you live in total harmony, peace of mind, right? Then you have an amazing family. Yeah, money is important, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you gotta start getting yourself in harmony with the strategies that allow you to get there.
And we are more than willing and happy, you know, if any of you guys seen us a one-on-one with us
Yep.
with no cost. We call it a discovery session, and we can guide you and help you. We'll be more than happy to do that. So we will leave our email, or however you guys prefer. I don't know what's easier for you, Genesis, but we can do that.
You guys also have Instagram too, right?
Yeah.
We do.
You guys have Twitter too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of? Thank you so much for the information for that. Before we will get done with the information, this interview, after this interview, can you send your link and your website into the email? That'd be great.
Awesome.
And then I will, after I'm done doing just finishing up with the interview, then I can link it to the description. That would be great for you guys. What do you guys think of thinking into results? Because I know that I love the way that Sandy Gallagher do it too. That's still one of my goals, to interview her, but that would be later. Bob Proctor would be one of my top one. But what do you think about thinking into results?
We love it, and that's the program that we facilitate. That's the program that we work with our clients for a period of 6 months with them. It has changed our lives since we decided to become consultants with Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. So we love it. We do it every single day. Like, we finish and we do it again, and it has helped us grow so much, not only us as a couple, but also all our clients. Like, it's incredible. If you're disciplined and you're committed to do what we tell you to do and what Bob tells you to do in the program, there is no doubt that you will get the results that you want.
Yeah. In my opinion, is the most powerful transformational personal development program in the world. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that. For me, I mean, a finance guy, right? Very kind of skeptical to help me move myself out of my comfort zone and jump and follow my dream of entrepreneurial, and entrepreneurship. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I think we have a powerful program that change people's lives. And if you have an amazing life, trust me, it gets better and better. And it's the roadmap pretty much for success. And what Bob and Sandy have done, it's absolutely incredible. And Sandy Gallagher, it's a genius when it comes to finance and money. Powerful. She's so powerful. And we're honored, to facilitate this system all over the world. multiple languages, in English and Spanish as well. So,
thank you so much for that. As could you give any advice who's either entering the entrepreneur world or inspiring to be an entrepreneur or a young entrepreneur, how to navigate their business? What would you give them, or what you guys would say?
develop the mindset. I think that's crucial. That is the foundation. That's the number one, because most entrepreneurs focus on the technique and they tend to forget the foundation, which is the mindset. I mean, yes, it's important to know the how of the business, your idea, if it is a product or service that you are going to render, right? Understand this. Everything starts and ends in the mind, and we become what we think about. So when you have a system, a core system to follow, in addition to your entrepreneurial career, I mean, you got the correct tools to win. I mean, by law, it happens by law. And for me, it's thinking into results.
Yes.
I mean, like I seen, when we jumped, Juli jumped, she left her job last year, and it's because we have this system and we follow the system over and over and over again, because it's very easy to get back to your old conditioning, to your old paradigm, right? And yes, situations, circumstances, conditions are going to be there because that's life. But as an entrepreneur, when you have this kind of system, you can navigate through it, and you will focus, you will put your mind where it needs to be, put, right? Because you're developing your awareness, you're becoming a better version of yourself, you will focus your mind into the solutions of the business, and it will help you move faster and get results in half of the way that your logic, dictates.
As a couple, how do you guys get how can you improve your people, let me see, how can you improve relationship? Like, as so well, I know you guys are good communicators. Like, how can you develop that as for people? What can you do?
First, make the decision. You as a couple, if you want to improve the relationship, if you want to work together towards growing the relationship, then both of the people involved have to be willing and able to work on themselves, because that's what happens a lot of times. Like, couples tend to blame each other about the results, and it's not only one person. A relationship is both of them. So when you start working together and you start working towards the same goals, the same achievements, supporting each other, then you guys gonna be in harmony, and then that's gonna make the relationship to grow every day more and more.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, I would say, I mean, Juliana, for me, it's the most powerful mastermind that I can have in my life. I mean, we spend, day in and day out, right, together. So when you start putting yourself in and understand the other person, right, and really help that person to see in herself or myself, the good that we'll have, because we'll have good inside of us, right, and understand each other out, right, and you will gravitate over circumstances, conditions, people, whatever it is that it might probably not help in your relationship. I mean, we have helped people that, they have a relationship paradigm and they don't have a stable relationship, or they come from divorces, things of that nature, and it's because of their paradigm. And now they're in love again, right? Because they work in themselves. Like, the work, we have to do it in ourselves. It's not my wife. No. It's me. She's a reflection of me. So when I work in myself and becoming a better version of myself, guess what? You change.
That is powerful. Thank you. I enjoy that. Wait, you have kids? You guys have kids?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was gonna ask, like, how do you I was gonna ask.
Planning, working on it.
Okay. The reason why, because basically I don't want to also just leave without like asking kids, because you know if in the future I want to have kids, right? Then I'll ask. But it's okay. Thank you so much for your guys' time, and I enjoyed talking about you guys' experience. It's very lovely. Thank you.
Same here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes,
we really appreciate it, and let's go and get it. Let's follow your dream and your passion, and jump. Make the jump.
Pew!
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos. I see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Have an awesome day.
Have a great day.
Hey, you too.